It's Jordan Mulligan from the Mulligan Brothers, and today's interview highlight is with Tim Kennedy, talking about the effects of war, and these are two of his experiences that, just listen to these. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can help support the channel and make more projects like this possible by buying the Inspire Change t-shirts and much, much more, linked down below. Guys, please comment, like, subscribe, smash the like button today for us. But before that, let's jump into this highlight.
So I had two very different experiences in war in my first two deployments. The contrast could not be more significant. When Special Forces, the training and selection process is arduous, it is horrible. If you have 400 people that go to a selection class, you'll maybe get 25 that get selected to go to a year and a half of training. And then once they go to that year and a half of training, you probably lose about another 50%. So in the volume of bodies, like if you just start, like if you take 1,000 people, you're gonna end up with 50 to 75 Green Berets. And the 1,000 people that show up, these are infantrymen, these are like they're triple volunteers. Like they volunteered to be in the military, they volunteered to go into combat arms, and they volunteered to go to selection. So these are like the who's who in the military of people that want to become a Green Beret. And even of that population, you end up with just this tiny little group. So after the year and a half, the Q course is broken up into phases. So once you're selected at the Special Forces selection course, you then go to the Q course, which is the qualifying course. It's a year to a year and a half of learning how to shoot, move, communicate, and medicate, and then how to be a teammate and a member and understanding unconventional warfare, guerrilla warfare, and how to train the people that we go overseas to train with. When I made it to the Special Forces ODA, I got fortunate to go to a special unit within Special Operations. And that first deployment was to Iraq, and we were part of a task force that was hunting Zarqawi, who was the #1 bad guy in Iraq and the #2 bad guy on the planet behind bin Laden. And the men and women that we were with, they are absolute hammers. I mean, these are like the best and brightest on the planet. And then there's this hairy-handed troll, me, that did not deserve to be there in any way, shape, or form. You know, we had 200 and something combat operations in this deployment as we're hunting this guy, Zarqawi, and none of us got hurt. I mean, it was just like overwhelming power of expertise and professionalism. And when you look at special missions units like, you know, the SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force, when all of those efforts are pointed at a singular entity, like that focus, all the modalities that they've perfected, like all of that energy is like acute to this tiny little point. Nothing can stop it. And that's what I was part of the first deployment. It's pretty rad to be part of that. Then the next deployment, it's me and my sniper partner going to Afghanistan to be part of we were USASOC snipers, U.S. Special Operations Command snipers. And we weren't there with a team, we were just two snipers that were gonna go support all of our coalition partners. So we have the Czech, the French, the British, all of their special operations, you know, the SAS or the Canadian Special Forces. Each of those units, as they would go out, we would be this like uplift, like a bolt-on extra thing. So if 30 Canadian Special Forces guys were going to go out to do this operation, they would get 2 American Special Forces snipers to support that operation. One, snipers are not just shooters, they're an extra set of eyes for the commander. So we would be relaying back to American command, like what was happening on the ground. So sometimes there were accent problems or like just language differences. Even though everybody's speaking English, like words can mean different things, and words really matter in war. My partner, when he got on the ground, he found out that his wife had been waiting for him to leave, and she had drained their bank account and was selling all their stuff. So when he got there, his life is kind of a wreck. So they pull him off, and I end up by myself. So I start doing all these missions with all these different coalition partners as a lone American. So I go to Uruzgan with the Czech Special Forces, and while we're there, We get blown up in an ambush that turns into a 3-day gunfight where we're able to fight our way to Firebase Anaconda, which is a pretty famous firebase because it was overrun by the Taliban multiple times. And while we're there as a sniper, I mean, it is war. And war is the worst things that humans can do to other humans. And like there's a moment where I'm like covered in my own shit because we got blown up and I got overpressure. It's like brain injury. We're at altitude because we're going through these big, huge mountains where we're ambushed. Hadn't slept in a couple of days. I no longer have any bullets, and I'm on my belly trying to figure out what dead body I can crawl to find bullets. Like it was that kind of bad time. So very different experiences in war. The Taliban, just as brutal as Al-Qaeda, but in the rural, austere environments of Afghanistan, that brutality is extra horrific. I don't know, it's just a weird acute. You know, they throw an acid on little girls because they didn't think girls should go to school. You know, the torture was normal to the Taliban as a way to show that they owned a village. And that was, so Afghanistan and Iraq for me were very different things. And those were my first 2 trips overseas to war in special forces. Very different. I don't think you can leave that stuff behind. It just kind of becomes part of you. You know, every human is a collection of their experiences, right? Their perspective and their biases and their opinions. Those are all shaped by the things that they've done in their life and those experiences. And one of the many reasons why I love the military and love the veteran community is because their experiences are unique. You know, we're talking about less than 1% of society serves in the military and way less than that in combat arms. You know, where you saw my friend Toby walk up and I was like, it's an embrace and somebody that I haven't seen in 6 months, but we have something. We have a connection there, and that connection is service. You know, an infantryman that literally like had to fight a dude with a tomahawk. So we could not see each other for 10 years and I'll still like hug him like my best friend in the world. It changes you, not for the better, not for the worse. Just, it's a change, it's a lens, it's like a filter that I wish I could look at the world through rose-colored lenses, but now it's just always tarnished and blurry because I know what a human can do to another human, and that's a pretty terrible thing. I'm gonna do this till the day I die. I'm gonna be super clear. Like when I'm finally dead, and at whatever point that is, where I get blown up in combat, or like just of old age, and the wheels fall off, and the windows are smashed, and the door is just totally broken, the engine's on fire, the transmission's grinding. I pull up to the pearly gates, and they look at me, and they're like, "Bro, I can't let this car in here." And I was like, "Well, this is how I ran it. So I ran hard in the paint. You either let me in or you don't. But this hunk of junk is going to sit here until you make a decision. Like, I'm going to do this forever. I'm never going to set the sword down." I have been so blessed to know why I'm here. You know, like, I am so fortunate to understand my purpose, and it would be a wasted life if I did not stay on course forever.
There you go, 2 stories from Tim Kennedy about the effects of war. Yeah, Tim shares a lot, so if you head over to his Instagram, go follow him. His new book is out, linked down below. Go check his book out and follow him on Instagram. If you want to see what I get up to on a day-to-day basis, on Instagram, it's at Jordan Mulliganbrother. Come see me, make some gains in the gym, and help be a part of this amazing team at Mulliganbrothers. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to share this with somebody and help inspire some more change, please do so. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.